Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous. You are listening to Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. I'm your host, Kim Becker, once a hairdresser and a salon owner, now the founder of a nonprofit organization that coaches and trains women with cancer to help them smile when they look in the mirror. And if you ask me, I'll tell you, I have the best job in the whole world. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at www.amplified.marketing. Our guest today is Theresa Rees. Theresa is a cancer survivor, and she is on a mission to assemble, package, and deliver chemo care bags to women battling cancer. Theresa was born in Ohio and grew up in Chicago, Illinois. After moving to the suburbs the summer of 2017 at the age of 29, after many emergency room visits, some of her many questions had been answered. Theresa had been diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkins Lymphoma. They found around 13 masses. The biggest mass was close to her heart, and that mass was about 16 inches in length. She had to get a biopsy done by a scope by a thoracic surgeon. After several months of chemotherapy treatments in early 2018, she was informed that she was in remission. While the whole ordeal was not great, and at times was awful, it showed Theresa the care that people have and how she wanted people to feel the same care and love that she had experienced. The cancer center that she went to had a table with individual items, some of them handmade. She'd received care bags as she was going through treatments. So she decided that she was going to make chemo care bags for her fellow cancer fighters that go to the same cancer center that she went to. Theresa wrote over 300 companies and asked them if they would be willing to donate to her dream. Hi, Theresa, and welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm okay.
Good. And are you in Chicago now?
No, I'm in the suburb. I live in Elgin.
Okay, so it's still kind of the Chicago area, so you're probably experiencing some of the same weather that I'm experiencing. Cold right now.
Right.
And you get lake effect snow where you are?
No.
You guys don't get the lake effect? Okay. We're on the other side of Lake Michigan, just on the other side from where you are. And so a lot of times, not this weekend, but there are many times where we'll get some of that lake effect snow that will come in, and that big heavy snow piles up really fast. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here and being willing to share your story. And what an amazing thing. So many times people will go through something like this and they don't look at it. They're just glad that they get through it, and they just want to get to the other side of it. And you decided to get to the other side of it and help others, which I think is absolutely incredible and so inspirational. But tell me about, how did you feel as you got through cancer? Like, what was the initial diagnosis like? And I imagine there was a little bit of both, like fear because you were diagnosed with cancer, but yet relief because it sounds like you had gone to the emergency room quite a bit, so you actually had an answer to what was going on. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I went to multiple emergency rooms, and I was in a weight loss program, and the day that I got tested I was at a friend's house, and I was having chest pain, and I'm like, yeah, it's something's seriously wrong. So we went to the emergency room that my dietitian, the hospital my dietitian's out of, and I've never in my life had this experience of being whisked in. I usually have to wait like 15 or some minutes to get in, but this time, different emergency room, was whisked in like a scene from ER, multiple people on me, and they're checking me out and all this kind of stuff, and they're like, we're going to scan you. And that's when they found around 13-ish masses, and the most bulkier one was like really close to my heart, and it was about 6 inches long. And we're like, yeah, that's not good. And so I was relieved, because after months of trying to figure out what was going on, I had some sort of answer. It wasn't just all in my brain, all in my mind. even though I knew it wasn't, I was like, now people can see, now the medical community can see that this is happening, something's happening to me.
And so they did the surgery with the thoracic surgeon?
Yes, I had to get a biopsy, and they said we didn't get enough, so we have to give you a scope biopsy. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they had to deflate a lung to get to have a better area to work with. And I learned that I have a smaller airway than most people, and it turns. Wow. I'm like, okay. And they're like, it could be difficult, but, you know, with x-rays and everything, we were able to figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And when I was going through treatments, I was the youngest one there. We were in individual rooms. And so I would bring like crafts, and I'd bring extra, and I would tell the nurses, you know, if any of the other patients, you know, want to do crafts or something, I've brought enough for them that they could do it individually, or if, you know, they wanted to do them together. No one took me up on the offer, but I kept on doing it because I thought it's something to do when you're going through treatment.
That's right. How many treatments did you end up having to go through, Theresa?
6 sessions, which was 2 treatments.
Okay.
So.
And then what kind of side effects did you experience with your chemotherapy?
I was fine the first week because it was every 2 weeks I'd have treatment. So the first week I'd be fine. The second week I'd be having side effects, and I'd be getting really sleepy, and I had early onset menopause. Mm. And so I got very, very hot, and I fainted a few times. And I was actually in a beauty class at Sephora, and I fainted. And the next thing I knew, they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And they're like, well, you're on the floor and you fainted. I'm like, I wasn't even hot. I was just sitting there. So.
Wow. And so your inspiration, tell us a little bit about that. So you were getting some of these care bags, and once you got through your treatment, then you thought that you wanted other people to feel the same way that you felt. So take me through that. Tell me a little bit about that.
So when I was going through treatments, they had this little trolley of people would donate things. And so on this little trolley, there would be like homemade blankets or stress balls or books, lip balms. There was a woman who was real crafty, and she would make little inspirational plaques. And I'm a big researcher, so when I went and was having treatments, I looked online for resources, and I got care bags from different nonprofits and everything. And I thought, you know, I don't see bags when I go to the cancer center too much. Mm-hmm. I wonder how hard that would be. So I just started writing companies that I thought, you know what? Why don't I try? And the first time I wrote companies, it was around 300 companies that I wrote. And I want to say maybe 50% of them got back to me with either a yes or a no. And I asked my neighbors, and my neighbors contributed to it because I just wanted people to feel, you know, cared and loved for.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what are some of the items that you actually put in your care bag?
Lip balm, because you have to be moisturized. Socks, activity books, which is I did not know. A lot of cancer patients don't like activity books. They're like, we have way too many activities books. But I still put them in there because I like putting a coloring book and a word search, so you have a little bit of a mixture. Mm-hmm. Wipes, hand sanitizer. And I get donations from friends, so sometimes homemade cards, occasionally a toy or two.
That's awesome. And do you just specifically do these? Do you keep them so that they're, generic isn't the right word, but that they could go to a male or a female cancer patient, or do you just strictly go with female cancer patients?
I don't have a preference, whoever is at the cancer center.
Awesome. So the items that you get, then they just can go for either, it doesn't matter. It goes for either person.
Correct.
And so how long does it take you to normally pack these bags?
Yeah, like maybe 5 days to a week, because as I'm getting the packages in my house, I'm, storing them and trying to figure out, okay, this will go here, and then taking them all out, counting them, making sure I have enough for this and that, because some companies will donate just half the amount. So then I have to find something equivalent to put in the other bags.
And do you do this all by yourself?
My mother and I pack and deliver the bags.
Wow. So tell me this, how has COVID changed the way that you do things?
Well, the cancer center currently is not allowing bag delivery.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I have met people online, and through this whole time, I've been able to donate 4 bags, which is slower because usually I do 30. So I've been trying to find people, but also I'm not getting donations in because people are concerned about getting bags and sending items out to create the bags. So I've been sided for right now.
So just kind of just doing a shift, or just kind of doing what you can given in the midst of COVID, just kind of waiting for everything to kind of settle down so that you can pick it back up at the speed you were at. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And so what have been some of your favorite items that you've been able to put in the bag?
There's a company called Eco Lips that really, every single time I ask for donations, they're always willing to help. And so I really like their lip balms. They're really moisturizing, and when I was going through treatment, my lips were moisturized, so that's my ultimate favorite item in the bags.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. If you had, let's say you're dreaming, and you had 10 items, like that you wanted that bag filled with 10, like what are your ideal, because being a nonprofit too, I get it, because we sometimes have to take just what's donated to us. And then that's whatever's donated to us, then we get to give out. So say that you had, a magic lamp here, and you were able to rub it, and you were able to get whatever items, what 10 items, like what would be your 10 ideal items that you would put in one of your cancer care packages?
Lip balm, warm socks, activity book, maybe like some sort of gift card. Water bottle, a reusable water bottle, a cooling and heating pack, some sort of essential oil, hand lotion, hand sanitizer, and cleaning wipes.
That's perfect. That sounds like the perfect gift that somebody would absolutely love. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so do you have any plans to expand?
Currently, no, but I have been talking with somebody, and they said, you should go into partnership with a nonprofit that is close to me. So there's a possibility that I